Alex a little bit annoyed now. That's the second time that has happened with that same linesman.
Let's see if they're going to make a change.
Alex Eala stepped onto the court ready for the fight of her life. But what unfolded during a crucial qualifying match for the Australian Open was about far more than tennis. In a match that should have been decided by skill and focus, she found herself battling something else entirely, officiating that appeared determined to stand in her way. This Filipino tennis standout was competing in the Australian Open qualifiers, a stage where every player is desperate for a chance to reach one of the biggest tournaments in the sport. For Alex Eala, this was not just another appearance. This match represented opportunity, validation, and proof that she belongs among the world's best. Unfortunately, what should have been a clean competition quickly turned into a deeply troubling experience. From the opening set, the warning signs were there. Line calls felt off. Decisions lacked consistency. It became clear that Eala wasn't just playing her opponent, she was also fighting the officials. During a key rally early in the match, Eala struck a ball that was clearly inside the line. The mark was visible on the clay. The angle was obvious. Everyone in the stadium saw it. It should have been her point. Instead, the call came back as out. The crowd reacted immediately. Her opponent looked confused. Commentators hesitated in disbelief. Yet the line judge stood by the call and the chair umpire supported it. Just like that, a point that belonged to Eala was taken away. What followed raised even more questions. Rather than awarding the point to the opponent, the officials chose to replay the point entirely. Anyone familiar with tennis knows that this is not normal procedure. A ball is either in or out. Replaying a point without a valid reason simply doesn't add up. Alex Eala knew something wasn't right. She approached the chair umpire calmly but firmly, making it clear she understood what was happening. There was confidence in her voice and resolve in her posture. She refused to be intimidated. This is where champions separate themselves from everyone else. Eala confronted the referees directly, letting them know she was fully aware of their actions. The officials hesitated. They knew they were being watched. They knew she wouldn't back down if the unfair treatment continued. Throughout the entire situation, Eala showed remarkable composure. She didn't shout. She didn't smash her racket. She didn't create a scene. She stayed professional, even though the frustration must have been overwhelming. When the officials crossed the line again, she demanded a review. Eventually, the call was reversed and the point was replayed correctly. For a moment, it felt like fairness had won. But the pattern didn't stop. Not long after, another shot by Eala, once again clearly inside the line, was called out. At that point, this was no longer just about tennis. It became about control, authority, and an attempt to influence the outcome of a match that should have been decided purely by ability. Eala challenged the call again. She walked to the mark, pointed out the evidence, and insisted the officials do their jobs properly. The tension in the stadium was unmistakable. Everyone could feel it. Everyone could see it. And that's when Eala realized the truth. They did not want her to win. The bias was no longer subtle. It was obvious. Instead of breaking under the pressure, Eala responded the way true competitors do. She raised her level. Point by point, game by game, she took control of the match. Her shots were sharp. Her serves were powerful. Every winner sent a clear message to anyone trying to hold her back. When the final ball dropped and the match ended, Alex Eala had accomplished far more than advancing in qualifying. She had stood her ground, refused to be bullied, and proved that determination and talent can overcome even the most unfair obstacles. What makes this story even more disturbing is that it wasn't the first time. Similar situations have followed Eala throughout her career, yet she continues to rise above them. One notable example came during her match against Iga Swiatek.
For those unfamiliar, Iga Swiatek is one of the best players in the world, a Grand Slam champion and a dominant force in tennis. For a young player like Alex Eala to go toe-to-toe with someone of that caliber was already extraordinary. And she wasn't just surviving, she was competing. Shot for shot, game for game, Eala matched her. Then, out of nowhere, an official stepped in and disrupted her momentum. The referee confronted Eala about items in her backpack, claiming she wasn't allowed to use certain things. This happened in the middle of the match, at a critical moment when Eala was building confidence and threatening a major upset. The situation was handled loudly and publicly. The official made sure the audience was aware, painting Eala as if she had done something wrong. It felt deliberate, it felt humiliating, and it felt designed to shake her confidence. This kind of mental interference has no place in professional sports, but Alex Eala didn't crumble. She didn't lose focus. She didn't let the embarrassment define her. Instead, she kept playing her game, and she won. Against Iga Swiatek, against the pressure, against the attempt to rattle her. Despite everything thrown her way, Eala walked away victorious. That raises an uncomfortable question. Why does this keep happening to her? There are several possibilities, and none of them sit well. It could be bias tied to nationality. It could be outside pressure linked to money or influence. It could be officials who don't believe a young rising player deserves to challenge established stars. Whatever the reason, the pattern is hard to ignore. And this issue goes far beyond Alex Eala. When officiating crosses the line, it damages the integrity of the entire sport. Tennis is supposed to reward performance. The better player on the day should win, period. When referees influence outcomes through questionable calls, intimidation, or bias, they aren't just hurting players, they're betraying fans. Alex Eala's story is about resilience. It's about standing up when authority figures try to silence you. It's about refusing to accept injustice, even when doing so makes you a target. Young athletes around the world are watching her. They're learning that success isn't only about talent, it's about mental strength, self-belief, and the courage to speak up. They're also learning a hard truth, that the system isn't always fair. This has to change. The tennis world must take officiating seriously. Officials need better training, stronger oversight, and real accountability. There must be transparency. With today's technology, there is no excuse for repeated incorrect calls that alter match outcomes. Systems like Hawkeye should be available in all professional matches, not just the main draws of Grand Slams. There should also be independent reviews when patterns of questionable officiating appear. If certain officials repeatedly make controversial calls against specific players, that should immediately raise concerns. Most importantly, players must be protected when they speak out. No athlete should fear punishment for calling out unfair treatment. Alex Eala's stand during the Australian Open qualifiers deserved attention. Her calm under pressure, her courage, and her refusal to be intimidated define what a true competitor looks like. From bad calls to psychological games, Eala has faced challenges no player should have to endure, and every time she has risen above them. The tennis world needs to listen. Players like Alex Eala are the future of the sport. They deserve fairness, transparency, and respect. Until meaningful change happens, we can at least recognize and support athletes who refuse to stay silent and continue fighting no matter what stands in their way. What are your thoughts on this situation? Have you seen similar issues in professional tennis? Share your opinions in the comments. And if you support Alex Eala and believe in fair play, like this video and share it with fellow tennis fans. When we speak out against corruption and bias, we aren't just backing one player, we're protecting the integrity of the sport we love. Until next time, keep standing up for what's right, on and off the court. Peace.